Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you're a subscriber. My name's Neil and it's time for another episode of Would I Lie to You? I'm just doing a little research into Would I Lie to You. Series 15 is coming up, and although it hasn't started airing yet, the list of contestants of the season has been released, and I'm really excited. There's some names I'm excited to see. Joe Brand, Mike Wozniak's going to be on. That's awesome. Bob Mortimer's going to be back. You would expect nothing less. Who else has got my attention? Jason Manford. I've become a big fan of his since watching him on QI. Rose Matafeo is going to be on. That's so cool. I like Sarah Milliken a lot. She's got an episode. So does Jamali Maddox. It'll be interesting to see if he's any good on this. Richard Osmond, he's always good. And the guy I'm going to be watching today also has an episode from Series 15, Rhod Gilbert. After Bob Mortimer, Rhod has appeared on more episodes of Would I Lie to You than anybody else. I think his appearance in Series 15 is his 9th appearance. But I'm going to go back to Series 6, Episode 4 for one of his early appearances. I don't know if there's any particular story that he's going to tell in this one. I'm just sort of picking ones at random at this point, adding them to my sampler platter. But without further ado, let's get into it. This is Episode 4 from Series 6 of Would I Lie to You.
On David Mitchell's team tonight, a comedian who once starred in a programme to find the world's most dangerous road. Turns out it's the one between Snappy Snaps and George Michael's house. It's Rhod Gilbert! And a comedy actress currently on our screens in Miranda, who also co-created Smack the Pony, a sketch show that received critical acclaim, Emmy Awards, and a stern letter from the RSPCA. It's Sally Phillips! A showbiz legend whose TV show once drew an audience of 15 million people. Admittedly, there were only 2 channels and no remote control. Des O'Connor! And a lady who co-stars with Bruce Forsyth on Strictly Come Dancing, but she's here tonight in her own right, so there'll be no more mention of Brucey. It's nice to see her nice, Tess Daly!
So I think she is co-host along with Claudia Winkleman, am I right? I've never seen Strictly Come Dancing, but I'm figuring things out.
For 3 days running, I accidentally ate cat food for dinner.
Right. So, how did this happen?
It was an accident.
Well, yeah, but...
And I'm assuming you thought the cat food was something else.
Why would you assume that?
Well, because otherwise, Des, it's not an accident.
Was it wet or dry cat food?
I'm not a cat, I don't know.
But as a highly evolved mammal, you do know the difference between wet and dry.
Have you got a cat?
No.
What is... This has got to be a lie.
I would point out that this didn't happen at home, obviously.
Oh, right. Where did it happen?
I was abroad in a foreign country. Which foreign country? I didn't see their flag, but I was...
Okay, he's intentionally trying to sound stupid, so I think it's actually real.
It was in Spain, right? I'd rented a villa, and I had to go and do my own shopping. And I saw these tins with a little fish on the side, and I thought, well, that'll do. I don't speak Spanish, not that well, anyway.
What did you think it was, Des?
I thought it was a kind of fish.
Like a tuna, perhaps?
Yes.
Why would there be a picture of a cat?
They always have a picture of a cat.
You don't get a picture of a human on a pot noodle, do you?
Actually, you often do.
You always have a picture of a cat on cat food. Always. Even in Spain.
Not always.
Always.
I can give you an example when there wasn't.
What?
Des, tell him again.
I'm beginning to think it's true, I must say. I'm sorry, Des.
I'm coming round to it.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
I cannot go on airport travelators. The one and only time I did, I got so freaked out by how superhumanly fast I was walking, I had to be taken to the sick bay to calm down.
Just how fast would you say you were going?
Superhuman was the word I used. Let's just say it went very fast, I didn't like it. I wasn't escorted off, I got off the end and then I sought assistance.
You felt nauseous.
That's right, I felt nauseous. Shall I tell you another thing I don't like? It freaks me out when escalators don't work. When you get to the top, you still fly off the end like that. That freaks me out.
I don't think you do fly off the top. I think that's
No, you do fly off the top,
your
David.
brain telling you a
No,
lie.
my brain doesn't tell me anything.
My brain doesn't tell me anything.
At the top of a stationary escalator, you in
Yes.
some way are thrown
Yes.
off the end of it
Yes.
as if it were...
As I described.
That's because you're using a certain amount of extra energy.
Yes.
And then suddenly it seems
That.
easy to go on the... Well, you'll find that at the top of a normal flight of stairs.
No, you won't.
Yes, you will.
Nobody flies off the top
you'll
of a
have-
normal
What-
stairs. Oh, you're right, David. Right.
What I'm going to tell you now, Rod, you may not be ready to hear. The feeling of getting to the top of a normal flight of stairs
Is not the same.
and the feeling of getting to the top of an
Rubbish.
escalator that
Rubbish.
is not turned on
Rubbish.
is
Rubbish.
the same.
It's not.
It is the
It's
same.
not.
This is madness.
It's
I'm
not.
not going to discuss it anymore. I've told you the information. At some point, you will accept it.
I just think he's telling the truth or
I think
something.
he. I mean,
Thank you, Des.
I think he might be telling the truth.
I think it's a lie. It's a lie.
Please welcome this week's special guest, Tony.
Tony.
This is Tony, and for 5 years he was my badminton doubles partner.
Tony's looking a little less mobile these days.
This is my uncle Tony, and last year I asked to have a go on his mobility scooter, and I drove it into a pond and wrote it off.
This is Tony, and when I was little, he used to help me get to sleep by telling me bedtime stories about the war.
I'm gonna go Sally at first glance.
Sally, does he use the mobility scooter a lot?
Quite a lot. He's had 2 hip replacements.
I don't think they're just for old people. You know, I've got a bath with a door.
Do you really?
I think it's nice.
Why did you take the mobility scooter in the first place?
Because I was going to play a psychopath on a mobility scooter. And I said, can I have a go? Because I can't drive a car. I didn't know I had it in reverse.
How much instruction did Tony give you before you got on the mobility scooter?
Well, that he thought, as he said afterwards over tea, many, many times, that it was quite self-evident how one drove this thing. All it had was, it's got a little, gear tiller, and he thought that even a nincompoop...
Backwards or forwards, that's about
Did you
it.
say gear tiller?
Yes, well...
It's got kind of like a
That's
joystick.
nautical expression.
Yes.
You obviously felt, on some subconscious level, more comfortable at sea.
Did you buy your Uncle Tony another mobility
I did.
scooter?
How much was that mobility scooter?
It was £1,500.
For a brand new mobility
For a
scooter?
brand new one?
Yes, because it...
Hang
yes,
on, is that right, Des?
How long ago were they?
That we were doubles partners.
Yes. How many years
10,
ago?
15 years.
You were... and when did this end?
We had to stop because I was getting on a bit.
And how did your partnership begin?
Well, we played for the same club.
What was the club called?
It was in West London.
Yeah.
Did you wear the full gear, shorts, and, looking...
No, I wore a miner's helmet and he wore a frogman's outfit. Yes, we did, Des.
Did you ever win anything yourself and Tony?
We won a lot, yeah.
No disrespect to Tony. Why don't you go for someone a bit
Because
more...
we complimented each other's game.
Out of you two badminton players, Rod, who would you say was the better?
Tony was a much, much better player than me. Tony played for England.
If he played for England,
Yeah.
and he was so good,
Yeah.
why is he choosing you to partner him?
Tony wouldn't mind me saying that when I played with him, he'd have been, I think he was in his early 70s.
The prime age for badminton. OK, David.
He lived next door when I was little.
And he read your bedtime stories?
He would occasionally babysit for me and my brother, and not out of a book, but ostensibly true.
Did he ever just shout them through
yes,
the
I
wall?
think-
How old were you?
I think I would have been...
23.
I think it started when he was babysitting, but he'd come round quite a bit anyway with my parents.
Dave, you just did an upwards inflection. I've never heard you do that before. What's happened to you?
I'm on national television. I'm getting a bit defensive about talking about my abuse-ridden childhood.
Of all the war stories that he told you that helped you go to sleep, what would you say was your favourite?
It's a story Tony told about his mother, who during the war worked in the library in Oxford.
This is the interesting one.
Yeah.
And you said, thank you, as a 5-year-old,
I mean-
that's very interesting.
No, because by the end
It
of the
is
story,
David.
I was asleep.
I think Rod, we can discount. There were too many flaws.
I would lean towards the mobility scooter. I'll take the scooter.
It's not Rod.
It is. That's what you're going for.
Sally.
Sally?
I think David.
And in a weird way, I've now gone back to Rhod. You can see it in his little Welsh eyes. But you're wrong. In his little devious Welsh eyes.
Yeah.
I'm Tony, and Rhod was my badminton partner.
Wow. I had a weird feeling. I mean, that's crazy. What a weird partnership. He certainly slowed down a bit, but bravo.
In Thailand, I paid £200 to have my portrait painted by a monkey. Probably want to ask less what colour shirt I was wearing and what colours were available to the monkey at the time.
You don't particularly remember it's being green?
No, and I don't remember having 4 green ears either.
I was recently at a zoo where I was painting with chimps, and there's no way that they would have done that well.
I'm not being racist, but that's your Welsh chimp.
How big was the chimp?
Well, let me remember now. He was sort of...
Was it a chimp or was it a monkey? Because chimps don't live in Thailand.
Yeah, I'd say he was about...
It's a lie.
He's about that big sat down.
Yeah.
So that plus a couple of chimp's legs. You think it's too good, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the resemblance is too strong.
Now, why would you pay £200 for it? I know elephants do paintings with their trunks, and there's also paintings that use elephant dung as the paint, done by humans.
I think it's a lie.
It's a lie
I think
because
it's
there aren't chimps in
absolutely
Thailand.
Pointless act.
It is, in fact, a lie.
Yeah.
Lee
It's a
didn't...
lie. How am I supposed to sell that as a truth? Do you know what? I'm glad it's not mine.
My 4-year-old son is watching. Thanks for doing it, and I'll fix it, and I'll bring it home.
And tell him I want me 200 quid back on that monkey suit.
Out loud, Sally.
Because he swims in our local pool, my husband and I play a game over text called I've Just Been in the Water with Trevor McDonald. I'm currently beating him 3-2.
Who's Trevor McDonald?
I suppose there might be some people watching who aren't aware of who Sir Trevor McDonald is. He's the esteemed newsreader and journalist.
If you go swimming and Trevor McDonald's in there, you get a point.
Yeah,
Do you live near him?
I do live near him.
Do you ever talk to Trevor McDonald?
Not really. I sort of made eye contact with him when we were both buying fireworks once.
Who saw him first?
My husband saw him first, because I'm quite short-sighted.
Was he swimming?
Yes, he was swimming. And...
And what?
Red nose clips. The person who'll be really gutted is my dad, who says hello to him in the supermarket.
You live in a very small little village, don't you?
I think it's true.
I think it's true. I think it's true.
It is a lie.
Oh. The nose clips was a nice touch. That was a nice seller.
On a wall in my flat, there is a mysterious red switch. I have no idea what it does because I have never pressed it and refuse to do so.
Where's the switch?
It's on the wall, sort of not directly but slightly behind the television. You know, it's bright red. I'd say it's about 3/4 of an inch or an inch wide. It's sort of cocked up in a sort of inviting way that you might want to give a tweak
so
to.
it's in an upward position. You'd have to flick it down.
Exactly.
Oh, that's always more scary, isn't it?
You're turning off something.
I'd be afraid to turn it off.
That would be
because
awful.
I might need it. You know, it might turn the oxygen off.
How long have you been in your flat and ignored this switch?
Well, I've moved into the flat about 11 years ago.
That's a long time.
Yeah, but this was also the man who spent more than 2 years before fixing his bone bedroom doorknob.
What are you going to say? This mysterious
True.
switch? Is it true?
I would be flicking that switch.
You can't not fiddle, can you? It's there, you've got to play with it.
Yes, well, you know.
I remember seeing an episode of this show when David talked about his bedroom door, didn't have a door handle on it, he had to claw his door open. He's not going to bother about a switch. He's
No, he lives in a slum,
He's going to
doesn't he?
leave the... Yeah.
If they paid proper repeat fees on Dave, it would be different.
Look at that intelligent face. Look at that beard now. He does look like a professor.
He hasn't got a bedroom door handle, Dave.
How do you know?
How do you know?
It's the truth.
It is true.
And I can reveal that David's team have won by 5 points to 1. And my individual liar of the week this week is Sally Phillips. Yeah, good night.
That was a fun one. It felt quick paced. It went quickly, which I don't feel like there was any one story that kind of dominated the conversation. I really did like what was his name, Andy? What's Andy to you? The mobility scooter story was totally plausible. The fact that it was a badminton thing, that's amazing. I mean, but you're in a sense, Rhod's going in with such an advantage because who would believe that? The other stories were much more believable, even though they were the fabricated ones. But yeah, Rhod's hilarious. He knows how to sell a story. You distract with a little physical comedy, and you just mime over and over again how fast it is getting off stopped escalators, instead of actually explaining why the flat. What do you call them in the UK? I don't even know. They're just I don't even know what we call them in North America now. But I know the ones you only ever find them in airports. Anyway, you can tell me what I'm blanking on in the comments below. Anyway, yeah, great episode. Thanks for joining me as always. If you like what I'm doing with these guys, please consider leaving a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. And until next time, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.